The City of Brainerd Personnel and Finance Committee meeting. It is May 3rd. We are in the second floor conference room at City Hall and on WebEx. We have 8 items on the agenda tonight. Let's start with introductions.
Tiffany Stingline, Alderman Ward 3.
Jennifer Bergman, City Administrator.
Chris Schubert, HR Director.
Kevin Stunek, Alderman at Large.
David Chansky, Community Development Director.
Mike Bestel, Acting Chief.
And Gabe Johnson, Chair of the committee. We have 8 items. We'll start with item number 1. And we have 28 minutes, so we're going to do about 4 minutes max in item number 1. Item request from Brainerd Community Action for 4th of July fireworks donation. The mayor couldn't be here tonight, but he is on the phone. Actually, not the mayor, the executive director of Brainerd Community Action is here. Dave, will you update us on the 4th of July and let us know what your ask is here for the fireworks?
Yeah, so we continue.
Yep, we got you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not gonna limit myself, I'm gonna just talk. This is what we're asking for, the same thing we've done the last handful of years. The ask would be for $8,000 from both the city of Brainerd and the city of Baxter. The 4th of July stuff that we're looking at right now, obviously with the pandemic, we're still in the scenario where there are going to be questions about what can happen and what can't happen. But we're moving forward with the fireworks with the assumption that they will take place the same way they took place last year. Excuse me. In terms of the rest of the 4th of July stuff, we haven't really put ourselves in a position where we're ready to release information on that quite yet, but we are looking at something in terms of a alternative style parade and perhaps some other events through the weekend.
Thank you, Executive Director Badeau. So that sounds like you're not doing what you did in 2019 for the 4th of July.
I would say this is the thing that probably will not be doing the events from 2019. It'll be more similar to what happened last year, although with some changes to try and incorporate more events than we did last year.
All right, thank you, Dave. Any questions of Dave?
No.
Take a motion.
I'm just, FYI, I'm the city liaison to the community action.
Yep.
And like Dave said, I support that. We are looking at some alternatives for the parade and some other things, and I think the community will be happy with that. With that said, I'll make a motion that the city give community action the same amount of money they did last year, which is $8,000 to go toward the July 4th celebration.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thanks for coming, Dave. You're relieved.
Thank you, guys.
Put some ice on.
Okay, that brings us to item number 2, approval of the memorandum of agreement with IBEW BPU Union for hiring a wastewater intern / operator. Chris.
So we had a wastewater operator, John Bukowski, resign in March. We posted the position and no one applied internally. We did also have authorization to hire a wastewater intern, and what we decided to do after considering the options was to rehire our 2020 intern. He was willing to come back. He right now works for us in hours when he's not at college. And then when he does graduate, we'd like to hire him full-time. Right now is kind of a peak time for the wastewater crew. They're trying to haul sludge to the fields before the farmers plant. So they're doing everything they can to get as many people on board, so that's why we wanted that intern on board. We hired him, we can set the wage for the intern, so we set it at 85% of step 2, realizing he's coming back. As far as the wastewater operator, when we were in mediation, we had agreed to allowing all employees to start at step 2 for the IBEW BPU group. So that's why the memorandum of understanding says step 2 for him when he starts full-time. So at this point, it was recommended by management. The BPU commission met last week. They did approve this and recommended that the council approve it, and the union has reviewed it and approved it as well. At this point, we're asking for a motion to approve the MOU, and which details Eric Klein's progression from our 2021 wastewater intern to a full-time wastewater operator. I move to approve the MOU.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll say, your trucks are out and they are busy. We've been following them to soccer like the last couple of weeks. And when I explained to my 4-year-old and my 8-year-old what the trucks are, and they love them. Every time they see them, like, there's the poop truck.
Wonderful.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Number 3, authorize street maintenance to promotional process. Chris.
Okay, included in the 2021 budget was the promotion of a street maintenance 1 employee to street maintenance 2, effective July 1st. Staff is requesting that authorization at this time to begin the promotional process. Just a little bit of background, last year we had hired 3 street maintenance 1 employees with the intention of being able to observe them so that when this promotional process was reviewed, we had a good idea of who we would like to promote. So at this time, staff is requesting to authorization to begin this street maintenance to promotional process.
I'll make a motion to authorize staff to begin the street maintenance to promotional process.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Number 4, authorize hiring a police intern. Is this
Do
Chris?
you want me to take it to start with? Okay, typically we have 4 part-time community service officers. They can work up to 29 hours per week because they are permanent part-time employees. They do not have an end date. We did have someone resign in January, so recently we asked for authorization to backfill that position. When we were advertising for it, there was a gentleman from the UMD school that asked about an internship opportunity. Internship is different than part-time. Internship, he can actually work 40 hours per week. And what we're really lucky is that Sourcewell will pay us for having this intern on staff to give him the experience and to have someone to help us out. So at this point, we are asking a motion to hire Nick Karsna as a police department intern effective May 10th at $12 per hour. That's the rate that Sourcewell will reimburse us, subject to successfully completing a pre-employment background check. Did you have anything else you'd like to add, Mike?
Nope, that's perfect.
I make the motion.
I make a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So we lost CSO, and we're not going to replace the CSO, but we're looking to add an intern. 2 thoughts and a couple questions. I'll let you both address them, but I think we should also be rehiring a CSO just to make sure we keep the 40 hours of coverage, for 1. And for 2, I love this idea of hiring a police intern. When I saw it, I just thought it was great. It's a department, we have trouble filling our personnel in, and I think doing an internship as opposed to a CSO gives us the 40 hours. It gives them an opportunity to get a look in our police station, while it gives us a better look at how they would operate as a police officer. So I think this police intern position should potentially be a full-time thing, or maybe more than 1 intern if we have that opportunity, just to help us in the pipeline hiring process. I love the idea, and I support the motion, but I would like to see us at a full contingent of CSOs to make sure that we can get 40 hours covered.
Perfect timing, because I just forwarded to Chris another resignation of the community service officer. This is so crucial right now because it will allow for us to have that 40 hours when we're very, very minimal. One of our current CSOs will be leaving us to go to skills, so that puts us down to 2. We fully the intent is to hire another CSO. Very limited applicants out there, and I'm waiting on one when he gets done with school to come in, and we'll continue that process because we're going to be down. Normally we carry 4, we'll actually be down to 2 with the intern. Great for us because we're going to be able to utilize that intern to maximum capacity for that period of time. So it's a great timing. Unfortunately, I'll come back and do the probably a rehire for the CSO that just tendered his resignation on Friday. So that just happened.
So just to respond to you a little bit, an intern is limited by state law to either 67 working days or 100 working days. And they work 40 hours a week when they're not in school. So we have to work around their education schedule as well. So in the summertime,
So pretty
it's
limited
pretty
to
easy.
summer.
Right, it's the summer thing. We might be able to, someone graduates like in December or something like that if they reach out to us. But Sourcewell will only give us one intern per year.
And- Right, but I'm so excited about this idea of filling the pipeline with eligible candidates that even without Sourcewell's reimbursement, I think police internships
Right.
is a good idea.
Right, and we've been
Whenever
doing
we
that with
can.
our community service officers as well. So when they're hired, we try to get them to come on full-time with us as well. So one of our current CSOs has already applied for a full-time position that we're testing for too. And we've hired a couple of officers that have been CSOs, so.
Yeah, well, we have 3 on staff that came up through CSOs. And in the region, we've had another 2 or 3 with the sheriff's office or other entities. So it's a great avenue for the young officers to come up.
Good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote to authorize the hiring of the intern. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Update of police chief eligibility list, Trace?
Sure, the deadline for our staff to submit letters of interest for the police chief position was 4 p.m. last Thursday. We did receive 1 applicant. The Civil Service Commission met today and interviewed the applicant. The applicant was Mike Vestal, our acting chief. I handed out just a summary of what happened at the Civil Service Commission as well as staff recommendations, thinking that in writing might help to describe this. So with that, the Civil Service Commission did certify that our current police chief eligibility list. Acting Police Chief Mike Vestal is the only applicant on that list. The Civil Service Commission also reviewed and approved a timeline to update our deputy police chief eligibility list, subject to City Council approval of the funding for the testing process. That process will backfill Mike's previous position. As far as motions, motion number 1, staff recommends a motion to authorize a conditional job offer to Mike Vestal for our police chief position, subject to successful completion of a pre-employment background check. We do that for all of our promotions. That he be placed at step 4 of the police chief wage grid. That's $51.72 per hour. Right now he's on step 3, if you weren't aware. He would receive some benefit adjustments as noted in the employee policy manual. He'll serve a 90-day trial period. The wage and benefit changes will be effective upon acceptance of this offer and successful completion of that pre-employment background check. It should only take a few days for that to happen at the most. And then also we wanted to clarify that he would be proceeding to step 5 on January 1st of 2022. And how we explain that is according to our employee policy manual, step increases for employees promoted before September 30th of any year will become effective on January 1st of each year following the employee's performance review. Mike's next performance review will be completed in September and October of 2021. So that's why he will go to step 5 on January 1st. So that is the first motion. Do you want me to talk about the second one?
Yeah, let's go with the second one.
Okay, the second motion is staff recommends the authorization of funding as needed for the Civil Service Commission to update the deputy police chief eligibility list. This cost will be offset from savings in the police department's 2021 personnel budget.
Okay, so I guess I'm ready to hear motion number 1 unless there are questions before we get to it.
I would make a motion that staff recommends to authorize a conditional job offer to Mike Bestel for a police chief position, subject to the 6 following criteria.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I have a couple. Are you going to provide this to?
I can provide it to anyone or.
We
you
provide
can
it
give
just
a
to the
report.
council, all 7 of us, so when I make the motion, I can just say it's
Okay.
these 6 things instead of having.
I'll definitely
Read
do
it.
that. Okay.
I'll probably still read it anyway, so the public watching knows what it is.
Yeah.
So that, and then secondly, I just want to say thank you, Mike. Thank you. I don't know if you applied through Gary Wyer's process or not, but I'm glad you stepped up here, and I'm excited that you're willing to do this, and I'm really excited, and my hope for you, or for the department, is we don't ever have to look outside the department again. You know,
Agreed.
that you do a great job, and you get your guys trained up, that we never need to find a deputy chief, or a lieutenant, or a sergeant, that it's always the next man up in our department ready to go. And that's where I was hoping we would be when this process started last year when Corky announced his retirement. And I'm really excited that that's after quite the process, that's where we ended up. And it is next man up, and I hope we can continue going with that. I'm really excited for
Exactly.
it. Any other discussion? Or woman up? You never know.
You heard me thinking that.
I heard generic man, so there you go.
Okay, all in favor of the motion number 1 with the 6 contingencies, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. And the second motion.
I move that we authorize the funding as needed for the Civil Service Commission to update the deputy police chief eligibility list.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hopefully we have some internal candidates applying for that. All in favor?
Actually, it's only internal.
It's only posted internally right now to see if we have internal candidates. Good. Good on the Civil Service Commission. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Question?
That motion carried. Well, I just want to be the first one to say, welcome, Chief.
Thank you.
Welcome. Actually, Kevin.
That was my question, effective when?
Oh,
So he'll need to do a background check.
So the background check stuff, okay.
oh, so he does have the 90-day probation.
Oh,
So
boy, now we're going down the hill again.
We'll welcome you this fall.
Darn HR.
You do it
staff.
yourself? He does it himself.
I hope he passes.
Thanks, Chris.
Oops, I pushed the wrong button, Sam.
Mike, who?
We don't know this person.
All right, item number 6, dispose of surplus equipment, the old council tablets.
So I can take this and I can be very brief. By the way, Sean is upstairs running SPW. Connie is on vacation at a beach in Florida. So,
We should have mentioned that at the top. Yeah.
taking
Why
both
can't she be
Connie.
here? She's in Florida, she can Zoom us.
I don't know if we want to see her zooming in about this time. So city council members, as you know, got all new laptops to replace those Surface Pros. So we would like to put those Surfaces to be offered for sale at a public auction rather than recycled or donated. So we're just asking the council to authorize staff to offer the 9 or 8 used Surfaces for sale on the public surplus website.
I make a motion to authorize staff to offer 8 used surfaces for sale on the public surplus auction website.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. One question, is it 8 individual tablets?
8 individual tablets that will be placed on the public.
Is it noted anywhere whose tablet it was? Like Jan wants does Jan want specifically her tablet, or does she just want a tablet?
I believe she just wants a tablet,
Okay, good.
yeah. But if she bids, we'll probably.
You know, can you
which tablet is
post, this was Gabe Johnson's, this was Dave Bedeau's? Let's see who sells for the
I
house.
love the mayors. I would love the mayors.
Did you put our search histories?
So we just did name a snowplow, now it's.
Well, okay, and can we, I don't know how long they're posted, but can we just get it out there somewhere, post it on the website?
I think Sean's ready to do it tomorrow,
Okay,
pending council approval.
good, let's like tweet it out or put it on Facebook or something where the public can see that we're selling.
What are they gonna be for sale for, do we know?
Auction.
What's an auction?
Highest bidder.
Hi, Joe.
Okay, all in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion carries. Authorization to purchase hanging baskets for downtown. David.
This is about the same time every year we come before the council to authorize the purchase of flowers downtown. This is a reminder, the cost of this is assessed to the Downtown Special Services District. We know, every year we do go out to get bids and quotes to make sure we're getting the best price for the downtown. Believe it or not, it appears that COVID also affects flowers.
Yeah.
We're only able to get one person to act, one local entity, I should say, to actually quote, which was Copper Creek, who did the hanging baskets last year. Again, due to availability of flowers and such, last year we did 24-inch hanging baskets. This year we'll only be doing 18, because that's what they could get to us in time. Again, the goal would be to have them up on Memorial Day. If you wanted to go 24-inch, we probably would be looking into July, and at that point, it's kind of a little late.
Yeah.
And it's hot for flowers to suddenly be put out there. Their quote is about 29, it's 2,900, they didn't add a couple things, the 178. So in there, we're looking for council to authorize the contract with Copper Creek for hanging flower baskets at a cost that's not exceed 2,900. This year, we did not ask for flowers in the downtown urns. The reason is we have staff who have the ability to do that. Assistant Planner James Krombeck is a landscape architect who worked for Landsberg for 9 seasons and is very well versed in this. So he is going to work with our part-time downtown maintenance employee in planting them, in buying them, and making sure that they're done well. We had some concerns of the urns last year that flowers were planted too shallow and things. James put together about a cost what that would be, and he has estimates that it would be not to exceed $2,500, and that's including the labor, which would be for himself and the downtown maintenance employee that would be tracked and assessed again to this downtown services district. So at this time, we'd be looking for the motion to do to contract with Copper Creek for hanging flower baskets at a cost not to exceed $2,900, and to authorize staff to purchase and plant flowers in the downtown urns at a cost not to exceed $2,500, which does include labor.
I move to authorize staff to contract with Copper Creek for the hanging flower baskets and to purchase and plant the flowers in the downtown urns.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is James out for moonlighting too? Take a peek at my yard. I have no idea what to do with it. So but these costs are both part of the downtown special service
Correct.
assessment district. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, David. And number 8 is the annual designation to perform electronic transfers.
So again, I'll put on my Connie hat. So state statute requires us to, in order for us to perform electronic transfers, that the governing body shall annually delegate the authority to make electronic transfers to designated business administrator or a chief financial officer or the officer's designee. This will be noted in our audit. It was noted in 2019. It will also be noted in 2020. This delegation was not done. And so we are now making sure that we are doing it this year, and we will do it annually from this point forward. So the recommended motion is to delegate the finance director or their designee to make electronic transfers as deemed necessary by the finance director to conduct business for 2021.
Perfectly stated. I make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the finance director or anybody she designates to make wire transfers from the city.
I'm gonna grab my computer real quick.
Any discussion?
I'll be back.
Yeah, they
Hearing
all
none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Well, good job. We did that in 22 minutes.
Woo! Nice job, Mr. Chair.
Anything else? We've got 6 minutes to make some other big decisions on the finances.
Mr. Chair, I don't know if it's appropriate to add this or not. Mary Cook's presentation. Is that not appropriate since it is not on the agenda?
We can discuss it, I think. It's just, yeah. I don't think I'll bring it up to council because Mary will have given her thing already, but.
She's not gonna be here?
She is going to be upstairs giving a presentation to the council on the Kitchigami surplus or underpayment, overtaxed, choose your term. And so I know she is going to present to the council, and I just have had a discussion with both Chair Johnson and also Council President Bevins, just suggesting that maybe this would be an appropriate discussion for personnel and finance since it is a budgeted issue. And I guess my thought is either if you're increasing or decreasing our budget for 2022 or any year going forward, that it probably is an appropriate conversation at personnel and finance.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it is a presentation, but she's also gonna ask us to make a $300,000 decision. So
$300,000 what?
decision. Like Kitchi has overtaxed or had their dues too high for the local library systems for so many years that Brainerd has overpaid by about $300,000. And Kitschy's trying to decide what to do with that, and they're asking us for input.
Give it back to us. It's pretty
So
simple.
and that's a discussion, and that's why I think we put it on P and F, and we discuss it in 2 weeks, and,
I agree,
yeah.
I agree.
But the library board has a plan.
But the library board has a plan.
As long as there's a plan, because if we're giving away $300,000, I want that food chain too.
Okay, with nothing else to come before us, we'll adjourn at 7:26.
Is Mary here today?
Yes.